My DVD review of Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor 3. The opening matchup was Delirious versus Go Shiozaki. This was a fun little match to start the show off with. Wasn't really that long. A lot of good comedy stuff in here from both of them. Good back and forth action. The crowd was really into this match, and the crowd was pretty much into everything on this show and started getting more into it match by match, which was one good thing, and one thing that really, helps out any wrestling show when a crowd's really into the show. And this crowd was really into this. Definitely got to give it up to the Orlando fans. They really were hot both nights. Had this DVD for a little while, but finally got to watch it. Go Shiozaki picks up the victory after he hits the Go Flasher to Delirious in a 2 1/4 star match. The next matchup was a 6-man tag with the YRR of Kenny King, Rinuaro, and Chasyn Rance versus Buchwhacker, Luke, Dingo, and Payne. This was just, a typical 6-man tag. Nothing really great, nothing really good. This was just at least a watchable match. Nothing really to talk about. The YRR go over in this match after Rinuaro pins Dingo. During this match, you see a little comedy-based stuff, obviously, with Buchwhacker Luke involved. You see Buchwhacker Luke, Payne, and Dingo do the Buchwhacker walk and taunt during this match. And you see Kenny King do some pretty good stuff in here, which out of, everyone in this match, he's mainly the only one, from FIP that isn't in Ring of Honor yet that I do want used full-time in Ring of Honor, because I definitely think Kenny King, is very good. He seems like kind of like a Shelton Benjamin, but he seems like a Shelton Benjamin with at least a little character and personality and charisma, which really, is one thing hurt Shelton Benjamin, but, it seems like Kenny King is like that. And if you know who he is, you probably understand why I'm comparing him to Shelton Benjamin, because I'm probably not the only one that's ever done that. And this was, a 2-star match, a watchable match at best, which was Roderick versus Erick Stevens. And this wasn't really a match. This was just a complete brawl. Early in the match, you see Roderick get busted open after several chops from Erick Stevens to him. Erick Stevens gets his head busted open in this match. Just a lot of good brawling. If you enjoyed their Fight Without Honor from their Respect is Earned 2 pay-per-view, you would really enjoy this. A lot of times, stuff like this where it doesn't have no contest, it really hurts the match, but this time it didn't hurt the match, because this really, helped the feud out, escalated it to the next level where it made, reasoning to have a Fight Without Honor between these two, because this is when it really started, and their feud escalated to this level where it made sense. Before this match ends, or this match plus kind of segment, I guess you say, is the No Remorse Corps of Davey Richards, Rocky Romero, and Roderick Strong all beat down Erick Stevens, shave his mohawk, and that's basically the end of that segment. Just, a great brawl between Roderick Strong and Erick Stevens. Went about 15 to 20 minutes. Really enjoyed it. Easily, a 4-star brawl. I really enjoyed it. Then the next matchup was the Relaxed Rules match between the Age of the Fall of Jimmy Jacobs and Tyler Black versus the Briscoe brothers. And this was an enjoyable match. These two teams worked very well with each other. I would say out of all their meetings, this is one of my favorite ones they've had at this point so far. A lot of good crowd brawling in here, a lot of good back and forth action, a lot of good overall brawling, like I said. Just a lot of good tag team wrestling from the Briscoes in here. Just really enjoyed this match. The end of this match was very good. Kind of like, some people might say it was kind of a ripoff of the Pro Wrestling Noah Marufuji versus Marufuji match, where Marufuji reversed the Doomsday Device into a one-man Spanish Fly, and they kind of did the same thing within this match, where Jimmy Jacobs was about to take the Doomsday Device. Mark Briscoe springboarded into him. Jimmy Jacobs called him into the end time, dropped him down, and Mark Briscoe passed out. And, just a very good match. A lot of good, stuff in this match. Another, 4-star match. Really enjoyed this tag match between the two. And before this match even started, they did a little video package before the match, which, showcased, the beginning of the feud up till this point, which is a good thing that I like seeing Ring of Honor do. Hopefully, I wish they would do this more frequently when they do feuds like this, especially on the just the DVD releases. I know they do this on pay-per-view at times, but they need to do this more, I think, on the just straight to DVD releases, not the just pay-per-view DVDs, because it really helps out the feuds. I think for some people that didn't see every bit and piece of it, and it helped out and really helped the feud out. I thought just good overall match, like I said. Then the next matchup was a ROH versus Dragon Gate challenge match with BB Hulk and Shingo versus Kevin Steen and El Generico. This was a great tag team match. A lot of good back and forth tag team wrestling, wear down holds, a lot of good in-ring psychology. Really, really enjoyed this match. Not as good as the Kevin Steen and El Generico versus Dwayne Yoshino match from the night before Dragon Gate Challenge 2, but it was very close. A lot of good tag team wrestling. Really enjoyed it. A lot of good false finishes that made sense. Just a lot of stuff in this match I really liked, and hopefully Ring of Honor finds out that Kevin Steen and El Generico, I would say at this point, is probably the most over tag team. If they're not the most over, they're not that far behind the Briscoes. And Ring of Honor at some point needs to make them Ring of Honor tag champs. Hopefully that will happen sometime later this year. Hopefully they don't wait too long to do it. Just a lot of good stuff in this match, and BB Hulk and Shingo pick up the victory after Shingo hits the last falconry onto El Generico in a 4 1/4 star match. Really enjoyed it. A lot of great tag team wrestling. Then the next matchup was the match of the night, in my opinion, match of the year, and easily the best match in my opinion this year, which was Nigel McGuinness versus Austin Aries for the ROH World Heavyweight title. I would say it's hard to say which one I like more, this or Rise and Above, because both of them in different ways were great. Both of them were great. I would say this one might have been even better because they did a lot of great stuff in here. They played off their previous match from Rise and Above. A lot of good back and forth action in here. A lot of good reversals of submission holds. Just a lot of great stuff. During this match, you saw Nigel McGuinness play off of the Rise and Above match when Austin Aries did the dive to the guardrail onto him, and with his eye got busted open. Before Aries could even do the dive, Nigel turned around and said, "I'm not going to fall for that again." And just a lot of good in-ring psychology, just a lot of great stuff in here. Pretty much, I felt this match was completely perfect. And the one thing it did was, up until the ending of this match, it looked like either man could win. Nigel McGuinness, the end of the way this match ends is Austin Aries hits the crucifix bomb onto Nigel McGuinness. Nigel McGuinness, after he takes the crucifix bomb, see him bounce into the ropes, hit the jawbreaker lariat onto Austin Aries, and Nigel McGuinness is still the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. And it's just a great match. Some people say, okay, if you're looking at the rating before this, say, okay, this match doesn't deserve 5 stars, but I would give this match 5 stars due to it gave everything in a match I thought it should. The crowd was really into it. A lot of good back and forth action, a lot of good mat wrestling, and just overall a lot of great stuff. I really, really enjoyed a lot in this match. Just a great match between these two. These two are having incredible matches. Hopefully at some point they'll have another match at some point, possibly at another pay-per-view or sometime later this year at maybe Final Battle. That would be something great to see. But yeah, these two, in my opinion, have worked 2 great matches between each other. And this is easily, in my opinion, match of the year. The next matchup was the main event, the ROH, basically the tradition now at the Supercard of Honor, which started at the first Supercard of Honor, was the 6-man Dragon Gate Challenge match. And this one was the Muscle Outlaws of Genki Horiguchi, Masato Yoshino, and Naruki Doi versus Typhoon of Dragon Kid, CIMA, and Ryo Saito. And this definitely, was a whole lot better than last year's one. Not as good as the original one, that's pretty hard to beat. But this one got really close to it. I felt, if it would have been maybe a little more things in here and some other, maybe different stuff, it could have been good. But this time, you saw a lot, like you would expect, a lot of great high flying, a lot of good overall wrestling in this match. And that's the one thing I think the Dragon Gate style gets overlooked as. People think, it's just spot fest after spot fest like Lucha Libre, but actually the Dragon Gate style of high flying and actually makes sense. They make it make sense. A lot of good in-ring psychology and a lot of good wear-down maneuvers and stuff like that, and a lot of good fast-paced action. Really, really great match. Another, in my opinion, top match of the year candidate from this show. 4 3/4 stars. The Muscle Outlawz pick up the victory after Doi hits the muscular bomb onto Dragon Kid for the victory in 4 3/4 stars. Easily, I would give this DVD a 10 out of 10. One of the best shows I have seen this year, and I would recommend this show to anyone that hasn't given Ring of Honor a chance yet. Definitely this would be a good start for you. It not only is it a great show, but it's pretty much, a recent show, not that old, so you get, more of a feel of the recent product and stuff like that. And, easily I would recommend this DVD to anyone. Definitely worth your money, and, yeah, that's it. Peace.